Welcome, everybody, to the big show. We're back. We have a great show for you today. We're going to talk about the 5 reasons Texan advisors will come work for you and catch you up on everything that's been going on and much, much more coming up right now in Service Drive Revolution. Believe it or not, people missed us.
That's a word on the street.
We have a special guest today, Hoagie. Actually, his name is Chris, but I call him Hoagie. It's very confusing, all the Chris's and Christians around here. Should be a hiring thing that nobody else named Chris. Can we institute that?
It feels like we're gonna do a flip because for a while it was all we hired, and now we're like, okay, we got a little out of control here.
It was fun for a second. Now it's just
So we've been pretty busy. New leadership book is out. The community that comes with it, the app and all the training is coming right behind it. And the thing is selling pretty good. It's crazy.
It's fun. We get the notifications every time one sells, and it feels like an angel's getting its wings.
I'm about to turn it off. Like it was fun in the beginning, but now it's kind of annoying. The other thing is people are buying more than one now, which is odd for the price point. If you don't have the leadership book, and I don't know, for some of you this probably isn't a book that you should get. I don't know how we tell them who's who, but if you're not serious about being a leader and you're just a middle manager, this isn't a book for you.
Yeah.
Because it's not fluff.
Not one you pick up to check out.
Yeah. It's a book that you would have forever and kind of reference. And it's a book that's going to be a journey, not a destination. But it is iamleaderbook.com, right?
Yep.
If you want to get it, iamleaderbook.com. And then it comes with some online training and a community and some fun stuff that we've been doing. So we've done that. I'm wearing the cowboy hat because one, you're here, but
is that
second,
a Resistol?
What's that? No, it's a Stetson.
It's a brand. Oh, it's a Stetson.
Okay. Is a Resistol a brand?
Is that better than
Resistol
Stetson?
Brand.
Is that what yours is?
I wouldn't say I have a Resistol. Yeah.
How many cowboy hats do you have?
Probably like 3 or 4.
Is that low for Oklahoma?
Probably. It's
So
low
I have
for
2.
Yukon, Oklahoma, where I'm at in Oklahoma. It's probably a little low, but
do you have more shoes or hats?
Shoes.
Okay.
Shoes. But yeah, sometime we'll have to get you out to Oklahoma City. We'll have to go to Shorty's Hattery in the stockyards, and we can have some fun getting some cowboy hats. She's the cat's meow when it comes.
We did our coaching calls. Yeah, was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so funny. You did them from home yesterday, and now you're here.
You're right.
In the communist country of Los Angeles. You were so funny that on one of the calls you worked in a Dallas Cowboys nag.
Yeah.
That's a negative association to Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, sometimes they kind of do it to themselves, but
I wanted to jump in, but it worked. It was funny. I don't know why that came to mind, but it cracked me up. No, we took everybody to a Zach Bryan concert. I actually went twice, and incredible. A lot of people here don't listen to country music, and by here I mean The Office, but I also mean LA in general.
Yeah.
Like people will fly from other parts of the country because you can get the tickets to Morgan or Zach or whatever.
Right.
But man, he put on a great concert. He's from your neck of the woods, right?
Yeah. That's it's kind of funny. Like I don't think of country music in LA, but I guess there was a good turnout. And,
it was sold out all 3 nights, and so it's where the Lakers and the Clippers and the Kings play. So it used to be called Staples. Now it's called Crypto Center.
Crypto.com Arena. Yeah.
I still call it Staples, but the crowd was singing louder than him in a lot of songs.
It's fun. It's supposed to be a hot ticket. Like it's supposed to be.
He just comes out and plays.
Rave about it.
It's not there's no pyro. There's, it's not a big production. It's just all about the songs.
He took no breaks. He literally just went through his set and
well, he does an encore.
Yeah, but in general, there was no.
You know what's funny is so he plays in the round. For the encore, he's got to walk all the way out. They come back.
Yeah.
When they come back, they almost run.
Yeah.
Because it's like an entrance for a fight kind of a thing. Actually, it's set up like a fight. He's in the middle. It's hilarious.
That's a funny way to
Christian wears cowboy boots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about the cowboy boots that are pointy versus the ones that are flat?
Squared.
I don't know. I think it's just personal preference. I don't know that I have opinion, and I think it's just the style, the material, the color, just everything you're kind of going for.
So it doesn't say anything about somebody when they wear pointy?
Well, I mean, like
if you were to analyze them,
would
a Cowboys fan be more likely to wear pointy or square? America's team.
I don't know. Because some of the pointy.
By the way, you guys, he's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
If you don't know that,
I am a Chiefs fan.
Die hard your whole life.
Hard to be a Chiefs fan.
Not really. It was for a while, but it's getting easier. But it hasn't always been that way, right? Like
no, they had a rough
all the
start,
fair weather Patriots fans are Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
That actually kind of reminds me. We got this for you.
Oh, thank you.
You should see what this is.
So should I open this?
Christian actually had that wrapped for you this morning. It was a whole production.
I think the conversation was something like, I'm mentally challenged when it comes to wrapping gifts. Can you help me? And I think that's how it kind of went.
She helped you.
She did. She did a great job. You might need a pen. Yeah. I figured since you're a technician that you would have no problems opening up a
What
box.
else, Christian? What else has happened? Man, we've had some crazy results. I've never seen profitability like we're seeing.
Yeah,
fake stops is definitely the focus right now.
Well, the funny thing is I think that there's a great divide. It's I'm seeing more people at the top, and then I'm also doing some strategy sessions where I'm seeing a lot of people at the bottom too. But we did a group call yesterday where out of, let's say, 20 dealers, the 4th place team in net to gross was still at 50%. Was the 4th place team. Like,
isn't that crazy?
That's people getting it done efficiently.
Yeah.
And I thought that.
And we had a record, my people too, from the state of Washington.
Yes.
Record to elite group. So we, if you're not familiar with how our program works, is we have a competition that's managed by the software that Christian's in charge of. Which is a whole other story.
Do you like how he just laughed? He couldn't even make it through the fact
it works, though.
that I might be in charge
it does
of software.
Work.
Oh, look at this. That's awesome. So
tell everybody what it is because they can't see.
So it's AFL to Arrowhead. 4 decades of Chiefs history and trivia. And then it's autographed. One of them is Lynn Dawson. This is cool. Thanks, guys.
I couldn't pass it up.
For your library.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's really cool. Sweet. Thanks so much.
We have this software that the advisors compete against each other in different categories. The categories being kind of the brands. And that's when you come into our group to become elite and be a part of the elite group, you have to win that thing. Mm-hmm. And so you have to have a certain net to gross, you have to have a certain customer satisfaction, but you got to win that. And that's the hardest thing for everybody. And so we had somebody come in and in record time made it to elite, which is great. Yeah. And a sweet guy. He's really sweet.
It was about as fast as that'll be a tough record to break.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it could go much faster.
You could tie it.
You could tie it.
That's but it would be hard to, because it's 1 month basically, which is how long it takes to win the comp.
Yeah, but congrats.
But most of the time people don't want to be in the comp yet. Like they want to delay it.
Yeah.
And so great overall for that. So fun stuff. Anything else I'm missing to update? People have been calling, asking when the show's going to come back.
Yeah, we've had a lot of
appreciate the love,
emails and questions and call-ins about what's going on and finding comments in the weirdest places. Like there was there's a comment that I responded to on Facebook where we were talking about the book, and they're like, "When are you guys coming back?" And I'm like, "Soon, brother. Just wait a little bit longer." And it was really, really fun. Another thing about the group that got to elite that I think that this is really important, and just kind of it talks a little bit about the magic that can happen when we're in those stores, is that he had an advisor starting out, and she wasn't super sure, like all the stuff that we're doing with with the changes that we make when we go into a store. And she went from not believing to she also won the comp as an individual in the same month that they won it as a store. And I just think that that's the thing is that really, really high performance is contagious. If
Are you talking about the owner?
No, I'm
Who are you
talking about the
about?
advisor that won the comp. When going into it, she wasn't sure what the heck we were doing.
Yeah.
Like it's great. It couldn't have been it was a storybook kind of a month. It was really fun. Like Dallas last year.
Like who? You know, the other fun one for me, because I have a lot of friends that are Bears fans.
Yeah.
I would call him a Fairweather Bears fan.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know. He couldn't. Can you name the quarterback of the Bears?
Caleb Williams. And it used to be Justin Fields.
Okay. That's good.
Who's the left tackle?
Bill Smitherman.
Bill Smitherman. But I have a couple people that are like crazy fans. Like every year it's the year or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this year it's the year too
Hey,
for Bears
I
fans.
get it. I've been there. I used to think the same thing.
It's funny. Okay. What's in the news? Should we go to that? The sky is falling.
It is falling.
Let me summarize the news for you. The sky is falling.
Armageddon.
All is lost.
So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the fact that people aren't buying new cars at the rate that they used to. And when they're not buying new cars, what do they do to their current cars?
They keep them.
They keep them.
Yep.
And according to the Wall Street Journal, the average age of a car that someone owns is now 14 years.
Can you believe that?
14 years, which means the average car is a 2010, right?
Wow.
Like, what was going on in the world in 2010?
I had less gray.
I might not have had any gray, but way more hair.
You think you're losing your hair?
Oh, yeah, it's going. For sure.
Pretty sure I had the same amount.
Like you've been consistent. But yeah, so part of it, I think, is that the fact that it's really hard for someone to buy a new car, which the average transaction price of a new vehicle, $47,000 is the average car. That's pretty insane. I think I reported on a previous that the average car payment was $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, it's just insane
wild?
to me. But essentially, at the end of the day, like, get ready because people are holding on to their cars. And then there's just a bunch of there's a ton of Toyotas that kind of top the list. F-150s on the list of people that just kind of keep for a really, really long time. So that's a ton of fun. But yeah, so
it seems like the perfect storm with that. With interest rates, credit scores, people's negative equity, and also the fact that I think a lot of the cars that are sitting on the lot are $80,000. Like some of these trucks, like, people are looking for a $40,000 truck that doesn't exist.
Yep. It's a $70,000 truck. So
they're over equipped, and I think that'll shift a little bit, but
that is a thing with trucks. Like, what was that, 5 or 6 years ago, where they started to make them luxury and not truck? You can get some crazy stuff in those things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like when I was looking at one for my parents, like I ended up getting them a used Dodge. Everything on the lot was just crazy.
Yeah.
Way over equipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they had a couple of models that were more like a base model, I think they might sell more units. And then since people are keeping their cars for 14 years, I thought I would also share this information. I'm going to see if the boys can guess some of the brands that are going to be on this. But we've got the 12 car brands that will break down twice as fast as the average vehicle. So I thought you guys would be...
I always like these
lists. I bet mine's on there. Winston is on there, isn't he?
All right. So there are 12 of them.
Where's Winston on the list?
And this is probably the thing that might shock you the most. Winston did not make the list.
That doesn't shock me because I've had no issues with Winston.
Everyone thinks that they do, and I've seen
all
rovers that break down.
of my issues with Winston have been self-imposed, like tires and stuff like that.
Yeah, which I think is not a breakdown. That's just regular maintenance, right? Okay, so start spouting out ones that you think might be on the list.
What is the criteria?
It is the 12 worst brands that break down.
Mini.
No.
Chevrolet.
Yes, number 11. Good job, Hoagie.
Number 11 out of 12?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought that would be.
Just read it because I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 12, Audi.
Okay.
Number 11, Chevrolet. 10, Dodge. 9, Ford. 8, Lincoln.
Okay.
GMC. And then these started to get a little surprising on me. Except number 1 didn't surprise me. Volvo. Jeep. VW. Mercedes-Benz. And the most breaking down vehicle, a Chrysler, as they say in Canada.
So let's talk about today's subject, the 5 reasons techs and advisors will come work for you. So the one thing that we're seeing out in the field more than anything else is not that it's hard to hire technicians as much as finding good advisors.
Mm-hmm.
And so techs are still hard to hire, but good advisors are more the topic lately.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. That was interesting. It's definitely something, like you mentioned earlier, we were doing a lot of our calls yesterday, and way more often it seemed like in, over the last couple of years, it's been text, and everybody's short on text. Everybody's numbers say they're short on text. And for the first time in a while that I can remember yesterday, a bunch of those numbers were showing people short on advisors and having to hire advisors. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a timing
theme
thing
I've been hearing.
but yeah, it's out there right now for sure.
So the 5 reasons why techs or advisors will come work for you. Now, this could be will or won't, either, could be either way. But number 1 is that you're busy, right? Because if you're busy, what does that tell somebody about that being a good place to work?
You're doing some of the right things, right? Like if I'm a tech, if you're busy, you got advisors that can sell, you got,
customers want to come back.
Yeah.
You're
absolutely.
You're selling cars on the front. Like you're running a good business. If you're busy, you're running a good business. It's healthy. It's growing. It's not contracting. Nobody wants to be a part of something that's shrinking.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the new guy in a sinking ship.
Yeah. Yeah, I think any top performer is just looking for opportunity. And when they see a lot of opportunity, they know they can do their part.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of times where advisors or technicians they're looking to see what kind of numbers that a dealership has. Like they're looking to see advisor performance report or tech reports and stuff like that. Like they're getting pretty keen into trying to control the situation that they're walking into. At least the best ones are. Sure. So it's funny. I would say that they're better interviewers than they used to be.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It used to be the shoe was on the other foot, but I think it's shifting.
Number 2 is the culture that you have. And the culture is measured kind of in a few ways. One is just how the place feels, right? Like we can walk into any sort of dealership or business for that matter. It's not culture isn't unique to automotive, but is it chaotic? Is it calm? Do people seem happy to help you? Are they attentive? Is it laid out intuitively for you? Like, just, is it easy to interact with as part of the culture and how people are behaving? But also, like, you can also tell like a business that is trying to be the best, like they're trying to win, they're trying for something bigger. They're not just maintaining. Like, I think you find in a lot of the publicly traded dealerships that most of the time they kind of feel like you're going into a Best Buy. It doesn't feel welcoming. It feels like you got to find somebody to help you. They're running it as tight as they can on the personnel side. Yeah, just the culture is that it's barely got a heartbeat. Yeah. Barely got a heartbeat, and you as the consumer have to do the work in order to get helped, to get what you need. a lot of it's on you because they're not overly attentive to the processes or to the people that are helping you.
And a lot of times too, I think telltale sign that more people are recognizing, like forever, I feel like in the car business, we always like to brag somehow about it being controlled chaos. And like it's not true. It's like the chaotic, I'm on fire, you're on fire, we're all on fire. Like there's no
There's nothing worse.
yeah, and a high performer doesn't want that. Like a lot of them are kind of calm, cool, and collected. They manage to the middle. They come in. They're going to do their thing, and they don't want a part of that. And I don't know that they all know maybe that it's culture, but they know the chaos is what they don't want. And so, like when there's a lack of system and structure and stuff like that, like a lot of high performers, maybe to not anybody's credit but their own, but they still have a system where they can produce those outcomes. And, when it's not there, it's pretty easy to see. And I think you see it, like you say, just not only in dealerships, but I was just in this new coffee shop the other morning in Oklahoma City. And, like it was new. So there may have been something to that with the chaos. But you ever walk into a place and you can feel the tension between the employees and they're not even saying anything to each other? Like that was it.
Like
And
they just had a blowout in the back and now they're gonna come out and act all nice.
yeah. And like, and so
Was the coffee good?
the coffee was good.
Hmm.
It was pretty good. Wasn't bad at all. Wasn't bad at all. But
except that
yeah.
Marguerite spit it. Got some.
Yeah.
That's how Christian thinks.
Something to it, that just the extra touch. Oh, it's funny. But yeah, like the feeling, I think.
Yeah, you
Like
can feel
said.
culture
Yeah.
for sure. And I think one of the cultures that we run up against that we're always trying to undo is the culture of making excuses. Like blaming the market, blaming that it's hard to hire the right people. Oh, the economy, this generation is stupid, whatever.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that never makes you better is making excuses, because when you make an excuse, it's final. It's like, oh, well, this young generation, they don't want to work, they're dumb, and then you're done.
Yeah.
So now what? Now
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah.
So we've set our destiny to below average or average at best. And so that is a culture of making excuses does kind of reverberate through the whole business.
Yeah.
It is funny. We were talking about all those calls that we were on yesterday, and it's such an interesting shift, because how we kind of will talk to certain groups and we kind of rank everybody by performance, and you physically feel the shift between the people that are at the bottom and then the people
on one of
that are
those
at the
calls
top.
yesterday, I wanted to play
So
that.
true.
Did I ever play that for you? The F1, the very first race of the year,
that's
and
right.
the audio recording of the drivers as they finished.
I faintly remember it. Yes.
Remember me playing it?
Yeah.
And so you start with Max, who won the race, and he's like, well, we could have done this better, whatever, but good job, boys. And then by the time he got to Hamilton at like fifth, it's just excuse, and then it's just excuse after excuse. And the guy at the top isn't happy. Like, he's saying like, we could have done a couple things better or whatever. But just the tone of, by the time you're at fifth place, nobody's talking about they could have done better. They're resolved to their destiny. It's like the learned helplessness is kicked in, and that controls them.
Like fifth is better than we thought we'd do.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they start the race trying to get seventh.
3 years ago we were in sixth, but we so
So
slowly but surely.
Fifth is great. Okay, number 3 is fun. And I think fun comes in many different forms. I think that you can make it fun to work. You can make it fun to learn. You can make it fun to help people. And I think that is part of how the leadership sets an example, but it's also how you hire. Like there's just certain people out there that shouldn't be in customer service that are allowed to interact with customers, and they will tell you, like, how many times have you been in a dealership and they will tell you, oh, well, Christian doesn't like people.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, why isn't he an advisor?
Let's put him
Why
in
is
front
he
of
an
20
advisor?
people a day.
And have him write 20 a day, and he hates people.
He'd be the advisor closest to the door.
That's not fun. Like, it's not fun for Christian in that scenario.
Yeah.
It's not fun for the customer. It's not fun for the coworkers. You know, it's contagious.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The fun is contagious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then number 4 is performance is rewarded. So when we're talking about, you know, recruiting the best techs and the best advisors, the ones that really look at it as a career, not as an exit or a rest stop in their, you know, career. No, it's actually, this is what I do. Like I'm a tech or I'm an advisor. The good ones are thinking about performance. They're thinking about how good they can be, how they can be more efficient, how they can, you know, flag more, write more. They're always trying to find that edge.
Yeah.
And so what happens is a lot of times the way that dealerships are ran is most of the attention is on the negative stuff and is on, you know, just getting by or just maintaining. It's not on performance. And so somebody who's a performer comes into that and they quickly are, you know, are swallowed up by everybody else. Because you got to have that same mindset from the techs to the advisors to the, like, everybody has to be thinking that way in order for it to work. I'm sure when you were a tech, you worked in departments where the advisors were terrible. It didn't matter how motivated you were.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
It didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
So the overall focus has to be on performance. And if it's not, if the pay plans, the meetings, the training, everything isn't on performance, then it won't be.
Yeah, if we were doing an episode on how to hire slobs, lazy people, and thieves, what we would say is do everything on a pool or group kind of situation.
Communism.
Like, yeah, communism. So like for the tax, we would just pool the hours together and divide by the amount of tax. For the advisors, we take all the sales and divide by the amount of advisors. Like that's the one way to guarantee that you won't have performance. And I've never met a performing person, tech or advisor, that was attracted to that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, when somebody asks, you know, we were thinking about, they do that weird thing where they know that they shouldn't be saying what they're saying, but they're going to say it anyways. We were thinking about what if we paid the advisors on a pool so they would help each other and cover each other, whatever it is, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself just tells you that they're not focused on performance.
Yeah.
Because nobody that's focused on performance says, how do I make my people happy?
Yeah.
Because people that perform aren't worried about being happy. They're worried about performing. And you understand that to perform, sometimes you have to sacrifice something. Yeah. And it's just very easy to tell the culture by the way that people talk and think that way. So an environment of performance. And then 5 is having a clear career path with examples of people who have gone, like, the best thing ever was going to a job fair when I was younger, an enterprise next to us talking about how the CEO of the company started off at the counter, like went from the counter to CEO, like having examples of employees that went from starting, you know, on the front lines and became something more.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, you know, just using the technician as an example, we're having to grow more of our own technicians more and more now, right? Like that's just a thing. And I've seen it. It's starting to get a little bit more common now, but it's really important. Like you bring a technician in, there should be a pathway, and techs love this as far as recruiting techs, whoever you're talking to. They love to see that pathway, but there should be something that says, you know, within 30 days, you should be able to do these things. Within 60 days, you should be able to do these things, and different levels to that. And then as you go through those levels, as you kind of get out of the lube tech apprentice levels, production's tied to it, and then you move on to these levels, and you can have hourly rates tied to it, along with the manufacturer's certifications, or if you're independent, ASE certifications can play into that. But a clear pathway just within their own world of what's their path forward. What does that look like? I think it's really important. And one of the ones I really liked was in that pathway. One of the things they scored them on, they called it citizenship. So just, were they on time? Did they have good attitudes? Like, they could actually get more per hour as a tech, just for being a good citizen.
Yeah.
Like, but there was a clear pathway. I've seen similar ones for advisors, where, hey, I know you're a tenured advisor. I know you're a top performer. Just so, you can run our system, run our playbook. In the first amount of time, here's where you should be. At 60 days, you should be able to do these things. If for any reason you're not going to, be able to get to those things, like, come let me know. And we'll, go over it at lunch, stay late, come in early, like whatever we got to do. But a clear pathway to what a good job looks like. And then I think, like you said, examples too of, people that have come before that, kind of had the story of starting out as the porter, and now they're the whatever, So I think with pathway, I think that's, I think there's a lot there, but
and it feels personal to somebody, like, oh, there's a plan for me,
Yeah.
I think, don't you think a lot of service managers, when they're doing those interviews, they discount their own journey? Like, they don't even talk about that. And I was just thinking, as you were saying that, we've got a couple of clients where the GMs used to be techs.
Yeah.
And I'd be talking about that, whether you're hiring an advisor or a technician, the fact that somebody from Fix is all the way up to the top. And we've had a bunch of times where clients have become GMs, but you can go from tech to GM if you believe that there's a possibility. Mm-hmm. But most people don't naturally think of it.
It's the American dream. Mm-hmm. It's America.
Totally.
Like, work hard. There's a path for you. But a lot of people just feel lost at, okay, I'm going to do this, and then what,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, the companies that are growing, that are expanding, usually are the best ones at showing career paths, because they want to have service managers that become general managers on deck. They want to have techs that can become managers. Yeah. So they're already thinking about having a bench, and you're thinking like, hey, I could buy that dealership. Who would I put in there to run it? Yeah. If you know that you have somebody that you can put in there, you're gonna be more apt to buy it. Mm-hmm. So they're thinking that way. So 5 reasons techs and advisors will come work for you. Number 1 is that you're busy. Number 2 is your culture. Number 3 is that you're having fun. 4 is that it's a performance-based environment. And number 5 is that there's a career path, that we can show clear examples of a career path, and that there's somewhere to go. It's good.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks for sticking around with us, and we'll see you next time on Service Drive Revolution. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Service Drive Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.